Yes. Yes, Ashwin.
How to confirm that we are in a jhana, it's like a feeling almost sleepy, or we are in sleep or something,
No,
or
you'll be completely awake.
awake.
Completely awake, meaning the difference between the deep sleep state and the eight jhana are the same. In the deep sleep state, you don't know you exist. In the eight jhana, you're completely awake.
Because it feels like a sanya coming, going, coming, going. So
Awake as in awake, there is conscious experience, but there's nothing to perceive.
okay, let me maybe again. If I next time I can say what is the I cannot say it.
Let me tell you how it would be. A plane is passing by. The sound is heard, not the plane. Okay. Like just now, Ravindra shook me up, and then the perception arrived at the same time. Not as Ravindra. He had made tea, so something very deep, somebody shaking, and then I'm back. He wanted to give me tea. That's what happens in the eight. It will be exactly how you would be like in a deep sleep. So you will feel you're sleeping, but you're not sleeping. I mean, there's no feeling. First, I have to understand there's no feeling of sleep. There's no feeling of awakeness, but you are awake. I don't know how to explain this to you, but that's what you need to observe. So the seventh is good, no self. Eight, you'll know. Anyway, it's not that today only you have to get it. We can again keep on trying and then happens. Yes, Shaniel.
So I went to the fifth, and then I was there for a little bit, and then I was able to get to the eighth, and I was there for some time. Just very subtle perception, I guess, and I think I must have been there for about 10 minutes, and then kind of had this deep breath, and then that perception just went away, and then I was in Nirodha samapatti. But what that experience was, after that, I was still, wide awake. Like you said, if the plane went, I could just hear the sound or whatever, and but I just felt like I was getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and I didn't have any desire to do anything. I was just there. I was kind of slumped over as well. I didn't feel the need to straighten, nothing, until you said, come out, because I said either wait for your command to end the session or 1 hour, whichever one comes first. But I feel like my mind feels very, very refreshed, like just coming out of that. So I'm not sure if I was in Nirodha.
No, you're in eight. Nice. Meaning, there's in the ninth, there's no perception and feeling. That means you won't even hear a plane coming by or anything coming by, except that you have to come on your own.
Mm. Okay.
Like, you can hear the sound of something, means you're in eight. So there's a perception left, but there's no feeling. The advantage of having the neva sanya nasanya atana is that you don't have any feeling of feeling light or heavy or this or that or whatever it is. It would be very deep, and then if somebody touches you, shakes you up, or whatever it is, it just comes back. Whatever you say. Then the ninth one is very delicate, wherein Nothing exists. There's nothing. I mean, you have to come back. So let's say in the case of Ravindra, he can keep on shaking me forever.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It was like a dead man sitting, so to
Mm-hmm.
say, because there's no perception and feeling. Now we
Okay.
might ask, and then isn't there not a feeling in your perception? Yes, there's so little perception left. Sorry, little feeling left. It's pretty hard to say you ever had any feeling.
Mm.
So that's the reason Buddha left Uddaka Ramaputta and wanted to find, is there anything else higher than this?
Mm-hmm.
But nice. I mean, what you have achieved is tremendous. Nice. Appreciate it.
Mm.
Good one.
Thank you.
Good one. Excellent. So we can be doing this forever at your home. From morning till evening, we can be in that. And then the another thing is that you will not feel hungry. You don't feel like going anywhere. No, nothing. You've just closed.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice, but appreciate it. Very good.
Thank you.
So we can continue doing that till we meet again next week. That's good. So how to enter into the ninth one? I'll give you the step. Maybe you can try in this whole week. Is first after you get the 8 completely, stay there. Meaning you should have your perception to stay there. Otherwise, it takes you into an abyss kind of a situation where you don't know where you are. Meaning it's just like a scary stuff. So you shouldn't allow mind to get into that one. Okay? That becomes asanya realm, meaning there's no perception at all.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to have that perception. Let's say that means you have gone below the thing, but then you will feel you're above it. I mean, you can't explain what it is anyway, leave it. So at 8, there are 5 steps. First step is just be on guard that you are not going lower than the 8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first is the non-perceiving effort. Is there's nothing to perceive, but you can hear sound once in a while, and some that means it's still perception, right? To that extent, there is feeling. To that extent, but it's a neutral feeling. That means neither pleasant nor non-pleasant feeling. The second step is to move into the neither pleasant nor non-pleasant, because you already attained upekha, which means you can now know how to get into the neutral state
Mm-hmm.
of the mind. That's the second step. As you enter into the second step, your all activities stop. No activity is there. Meaning the brain or whatever has no active. That means no signaling. So before you enter into no signaling, now you have to say what you want. You want to stay for how long? And this is the same question what Visakha asked Dhammadinna. How would they enter?
Mm-hmm.
And she says there's nothing like how would they enter. They would make a perception that when I want to come out, and that's it, and it just goes. It's not that you make an entry to exit out of it. Okay, so that means there's nothing called exiting, there's nothing called entering. Okay, after this, the fourth step, observe, just observe, or rather be in awareness. The difference between observation and awareness is observation, there's an effort involved, in awareness, there's no effort, absolutely zero effort.
Mm-hmm.
The feeling which was there even more reduces, cutting off the perception.
Mm-hmm.
There's little feeling.
Okay.
and that feeling itself is gone, so the perception is almost cut. If no input is given, the fifth one is switch off, and you're done.
What do you mean by switch off?
Now I don't know how to tell the switching off. It's start and shut down in Windows, and
Okay. So what do? You do account?
no, I didn't do that this time. It's I need to be pretty careful because I generally do it when I'm alone rather than
Yeah.
anyone being there, because it's easy to get into a spin-off. Meaning, one time my wife and my niece had a problem to get me back into life. So basically, they were shaken up and they were almost in tears. So, like, somebody's dead. I mean, you can't make him come back. It's like it's gone means gone.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a very careful thing to do, but be careful when you do it. Have a good times, because there's no time lapse, there's no time, there's no space. It's cuts off space and time construct. Meaning, when you come back, you can't say what day was it. Let's say you went on Sunday and your one whole week is gone, and then you're again back in Sunday, and you're thinking that, oh, hey, wait a second, we're supposed to meet, and then it's not 25th of December, sorry, May, you're on 1st June. And that's exactly what it means by
Switching off. Yeah.
switching. It's
Okay.
switched off, completely switched off.
Right. So that whole period in between, you have no awareness of.
Nothing.
Gone. Okay.
Gone. So just
Okay.
like this, off. So you have to have a counting 10, 9, 8, 7. That's the last perception you can have. That you said, that's it. Off.
Okay. And just those 5 steps again, please. You were saying.
Okay. The first thing is you should
Don't
know
go back.
you're in 8.
Mhm.
Okay. Staying there for as long as you would wish, and knowing that you're not going back. Okay, that's a first primary step. Okay, let's do one thing. At present, ensure that you're always on 8. Okay. Then anyway, we'll be meeting every day, right? And I mean, for that 1 o'clock session. Okay, you can ping me when you're ready. You can message me when you're ready in the weekdays. Then we will go step by step. I'll tell you the second,
Okay.
and then I'll tell you the third one. I'll tell you the fourth one. And by that, the Sunday will come. And maybe you can do the fifth one without really attending the session. Meaning, you come at 10:30 a.m. Okay, and you are at 4:30. Okay, so when you wake up, you're at 4:30.
Yep.
That would be the most interesting experience. But I'm still you need to be pretty careful, because if you don't come back, there's nothing in this world which can bring you back. You're as good as a zombie. I mean, there's nothing anybody can do. It's like you're gone on a abyss, or you can call it as a coma or whatever that is, and there's no way to get back.
Okay.
And that's a scary part of it.
So you have to pre-program when you're going to come back.
Yeah, because switching off is literally switch off. It's not. It's like this. The lid close mode is 8 jhana. So when a perception comes in, and then you're awake, and then it's fine. It's basically very good enough, right? What's ninth? It's switched off. Who will switch it on?
Yep.
And if there's somebody to switch it on, you can tell him and go, after 1 hour, you will switch this thing on. And you cannot be switched on by anyone except for you. That's pretty dangerous I would say because if you don't come back, nobody can say when Shaniel will be back because there's no Shaniel anyway. Okay, so
Okay.
we'll I said all the five, but let me curtail it and not put you in some kind of a risk
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
because we need to know how to get back. So there's a way of
Mhm.
getting back. It's like because even if I were to shake your body, there's no life. Life is there.
Mm.
See, the Ayu will be there and you will be breathing and all that stuff is there. That means even if you were to take you to the hospital, you're perfectly good alive. But what about the conscious? Meaning, what about the awareness? You'll be blank. Meaning, you can't, if you open the eyes, you are not dilated in the eyes. That means you're not dead or anything like that. And if they check your pulse, it's a good pulse, your heartbeat is good, everything is good, except that you don't exist.
Mm.
And when you switch it on for the very first time, you don't know which day it is. So, what is the nimitta to come back? Is the question. Because that's your secret code.
Mm.
And that only you know.
Yep.
So, I
Okay.
can't come and say, Shania, what's the secret code? Tell me, I'll just code you. That's amazing thing to happen. You just off out. I've tried once, meaning in this tour of Bangalore to San Francisco. I've tried that for 1 hour. Okay, and zilch. There's nothing. I'm scared of doing it because then if it doesn't, and my question is, I've said it, but what if it doesn't? And then how will they make me get up from the plane? And that's the problem. So I went into the 8 and stayed in that one, ninth one for 1 hour. And it just came back and I didn't know how that one full hour went. It was just like it was never there. I don't remember anything in that 1 hour. So the difference between the 8 jhana and this, in the 8 jhana, I know people walking here, there, in the aisle and all of that. Little bit perception, but not really the perception being there. So in the ninth one, the last leg between, I don't know where he was at that time. He was coming closer into US West Coast. So I had seen 2 hours, so 3 hours left, and gone for 1 hour, and then 2 hours left. 1 hour I did on the 8th, just stayed on the 8th, so 1 hour left. So then I came to the 7th, and then I was in 4th from then on because I didn't want to get into this arupa jhanas. That on the 4th jhana till I get down of the plane, and then this immigration, I came back to the first jhana. It's made no sense for me to be in 4 jhana. So first jhana, and then when these two beings appeared in the airport, I was back to normal. Meaning, as I was in Bangalore, literally like I'm in Bangalore, still in Bangalore, but it shows welcome to San Francisco or whatever that is. So, but I didn't do it while I came to Australia because I didn't have so much of time. And again, that it was a scare. I've not done after my wife, two experiences I had with my wife. One when they both were crying almost in tears, and another time I was sitting and meditating, and she touched me here, started to pain like crazy, and I told her, "Why the hell did you touch me?" She said, "Then what I should do?" I said, "Don't touch me." I stayed that pain here stayed for a week or before it went away. Every day a pain being there. She just touched me here. I said I was totally gone, and then I
Mm.
found out that it's dangerous to do
Mm.
something like that. So these two reasons made me not to try this ninth one all the time, and I'm very careful in doing it. So if nobody's there, I just try. Okay, now I'm here in eight, and let me do the nine. But certainly, we'll do that when we both are around, so that at least I can tell you how to get back. We can do a short one,
Yep.
and then see. Okay, or even now we'll be trying to do. But be careful when you
Yeah,
the
yeah.
nine. You will never come back. I mean, just switch off, switch off,
Mhm.
and you only have to come back. Nobody can make you come back. But it's very nice because you don't have time and space. So you might come back on a Sunday, and we don't know which Sunday is that.
Okay. Yep. Thank you for the warning and for the guidance.
How it would be if you're back on, let's say, 29th of November. Means if you go off today and you come back on 29th of November, is you're gone for 5 months. No food, no shit, nothing. Just there. That's exactly what they do in the Tibetan meditation. Yes, Harry.
I thought once you said the Tibetan were doing the eight, but now you're saying
No. I mean, they like in the Samsara movie, you can force fit to do it, and then he comes back with that nimitta, right? So they teach. I mean, using the mandala, they do that. I'm not too sure on 8 and 9 because there's a very subtle difference. Even if that person was in 8, let's say, it's a huge one because now they have covered him up with that door. So he can't go out to eat or do anything, right? He's sitting there and his fingers, nails are grown and all that means he's just sitting there. It can be for days and years, just passes by. Even on the 8, you can do it, but there's perception. The ninth, it is switched off. But as far as I've seen the way that mandala and that Kala Chakra, what they do, I was told, I have not really gone into their teaching to see how they teach the ninth one because I always feel it is 8. I might be wrong on that ninth. After you sent that movie of Samsara and the way he was, I think maybe 9. I'm not too sure because they teach this exact method. Okay, using the tantra. Yes, go ahead.
and this nimitta to come back, it could be a mental.
It is mental only. There's no physical. You can't physically come back.
Sure, but you said it could be like say the alarm rings or something.
Yes.
And you could it's like May 25th. It would just work.
It will. So it depends on how deep it has taken. Like, to cite an example, every day you need to say, wake me up at 4. Okay. No alarms should be there. And biologically, it shouldn't get you at 3:55. It shouldn't get you at 4:05. It should get you at 4 or whatever time. Right. So now you, before sleeping, go to the 8 jhana and then say 4 p.m. Oh, sorry, 4 a.m. Normal sleep. Nothing that you have to go to the 9th jhana to sleep. It's a normal sleep. Exactly at 4, you're up. This is first. Second, now next day, you say, can I be in 4th jhana for the entire day? Meaning you will be equanimous for the whole day, irrespective of whatever you're doing. You might be working, you might be eating, you might be meeting, you might be having whoever. Can you be in equanimity? And it should do it. You'll start to do it. So you'll be in equanimity. So you have to keep on doing all of this before you get into this state. And that's the reason Buddha talks about only 4 jhana. If you've observed, Samma Samadhi, he doesn't talk about 9 jhana at all. If you've seen it, not even 8, 7, 6, 5, all that. Just talks 4 jhanas because that's sufficient. because you need to be equanimous all the time. Equanimous, equanimous, equanimous. And then the ninth will be easy. See, in the case of Shaniel, his eyes can read and say that he can do 8 comfortable. Very easy. But then if he keeps on doing that 8-1 and then he lose interest in life. So he needs to take caution. It's like between devil in the deep sea, right? And either of the one is not the right way to go. It's good one on the jhanas, but then you need to also be functional. You can't be non-functional. You need to be functional. And then when we are equanimous for a good amount of time, you can say whatever you want to say, and then it happens. Then it gets into the ninth. Let's say today is Sunday, 6 a.m. in the morning, and for him 6 a.m. is like something like what is that? I mean 2:30 or 2:30, 1:30, whatever is there in India, 4.5 hours behind. So he goes there and he says, come back on Sunday. Like he has a small cave at his home, that Shunyagara, what he has created. And that's it. Nothing is known about Shaniel after that. And comes back automatically. It's the exact 6 a.m. on Sunday, awake. But he just checks what day it is. It's a week.
It's something he might have to inform the board before doing.
No, if he informs anyone else, it's not going to help because nobody can do anything about him. Even if God were to come and say, Shaniel, get up, can't make him get up. In fact, I had heard from Ajahn Brahm one long time ago, very long time ago. There's one video where he says how one guy tried, maybe in Australia, I guess, is that he went into Nirodha samapatti. His wife got worried that he didn't come out of his meditation for 2 days, and then they took him to hospital. They gave him shocks and everything, and nothing happened. And then they had to bring him back to house and drop him at his house. And the wife and children didn't know what to do with this guy. And after a while, he got back. And then Ajahn Brahm was saying that when he came back, the wife was shouting at him, and he was perplexed that who is this lady shouting at me? Okay, it was a long while, and then he came to know he had a wife. And then the wife narrated the story. We took you to whichever place he was from, and then he came back, or they took to the hospital, nothing could be done, and they just dumped him here. And that's true. I had twice of this experience. I know for sure what Ajahn Brahm was saying is true. It works that way. Okay, so switch off is switch off. There's nothing anyone can do. For that, we need to be equanimous. Yes, Chirag.
Is there any connection between this Nirodha what was it?
Samapatti. That's what we are talking.
Yeah, Nirodha Samapatti and Nirvikalp Samadhi. Is there any connection or they are different things?
No, nirvikalpa has already happened. In the 7 jhana itself, you don't have any vikalpa. There's nothing to imagine because there is no observer. There's only observer. There's no thing being observed. Just like, let me give you an example. There is this room, but there's no person sitting in this room. How is that? I mean, you're there in the room, but you don't really see anything special in this room. Just like a light just put on the light and the light can bring out all the objects, but it's not interested in any object. In a normal sense of chitta, it always has some interest on any object. Now there's no interest on the object. Yes.
So, would you say the seventh jhana or first question is seventh jhana equivalent to nirvikalp samadhi or not really?
Yes and no. See, the thing is like this: when we say there is no subject object experience, it really means nirvikalpa.
Mhm.
If there is a subject object experience, then it's vikalpa.
Mhm.
What does that mean? Vikalpa means, kalpa means imagination, subjectification. To give an example, this is a vikalpa. And if I ask you what it is, you'd say it's a light, or it's a bulb, or something. It's a created one. Okay. Now this created one, if it is known to all, and everyone is going to say the same thing. But actually it's created. If everybody knows what's a bulb, and nobody is going to guess and say that this is not a bulb, right? So then this is called conventional reality. You just do something and show to everyone this is called as so and so, and everybody agrees with it, and that's kalpa. Got it? Now I'll close it like this, and then I'll tell you, guess what it is. What happened to the object? The subject is the same, eyes. But where's the object? Now you can't say anything. That is nirvikalpa.
Right. So is it? Would you say nirvikalpa or this close to around seven jhana? Is that the
Yes.
start of
So when we
non-dual?
say shunya, voidness, it means void of self. Self comes when you see, I saw
Mhm.
this,
Mhm.
right? So when there is nirvikalpa, there's no seer. There's nothing to be experienced as I have seen. Like, if I say that's Bobby, two things are happening. One, the eyes are seeing that form, and there's a perception that what the form is as coming back and as I am seeing it. Okay, there's an I, not EYE, I as a person seeing that object, and that object I'm able to perceive. That means there's a kalpana. Okay? And then that's Bobby. So when I start to see Bobby, the feeling comes of what I feel, FWEL, as Bobby. So the experience what I had with this person a month ago starts to flow. And that's what is called as asavas, the fermentation. So I can have kamasava, which means sensual fermented thing, or bhavasava, something which has become, or ditthiyasava, which means views about Bobby, and avijjasava, which is ignorance. Right? Now, this one in Yoga Sutra, since they don't talk about asava, is nirvikalpa samadhi. That means it's devoid of completely of the subject. The subject is eyes, the object is Bobby. Subject not being there, object can never come. Okay. That equals you getting into 7 and 8.
And before 7 and 8, there is duality. Is that then?
Yeah, there's duality. There is duality. So then what happens? You get into the 9th, but in Vedanta, there's nothing called 9. They say it is Turiya, the stage of 4, where you are in awakened sleep. And that's how you can define it. Because now you are aware, but you don't know, you don't have any particular thing to be aware. It's just being aware. Now you can't ask what are you aware of, and there's no object to be aware of, right? Which is what we are trying to do in the Nirodha Samapatti. To shorten to that explanation is Nirvikalpa Samadhi is a step to get into the ninth jhana. Yes, go ahead.
Also, one more thing. So let's say Nirodha Samapatti. Is it the same as when we go to sleep? We lose. There's no perception, right? I mean, obviously, people can have dreams and so on.
No, that's what I was trying to tell you. Is that's not the one, but it's like being an unaware eight jhana is what the deep sleep is.
Mhm.
But it's not nine. Nine means no one in this world can come and wake you up forever. It's like you're dead but yet alive. Like, I wanted to sleep and I go in the ninth jhana. Next day, whoever it is, like my wife, cannot wake me up. Even the doctor cannot wake me up because there's no feeling. You're cut off the perception and feeling. See, an injection is given. There should be some conscious feeling, right? There's no conscious feeling, but you are there, meaning there's no I as a person to feel because there's no perception at all. So if they put me on a machine which is showing all the BP and all of that, it shows a normal thing, no matter what test they do. MRI scan, CT scan, and this scan and that scan, all of it good, but no person. There's no a person because that conscious experience is not there. That's what we have removed, right? We have removed the vijnana. Yes.
One more question. So, if someone were to die in the ninth jhana, would they attain like parinirvana, or I mean, is that a way that without even being an arhat, if you were to die in ninth jhana, then you are
Number one, you will not die in the ninth jhana. Okay, because the thing is like this: you should have end of the ayu. Let's say you have, and what happens in that same sutta? You see, the person would think he's in ninth, but he's in eight, and then he gets reappeared in eight. Okay, so it's a very strange paradox, Chirag. I think you need to do it yourself to see at least till eight jhana. You should do it to exactly say what's happening in you. Okay. Otherwise, it will be speculative because mind always wants to know how it is, what happens, what happens. I want to know. There's nothing wrong in this. Especially 7, 8, 9 is very, very tricky, basically. The trick, why I say tricky is till 6th is pretty fine. You know you're conscious because there is the six senses conscious. That's the reason it's ayatana. It's the senses are conscious, but they don't have anything to do with anything. So they are just like in a standby mode, if I could call that is your infinite conscious experience. And when you go into the non-self experience, that is the seventh one, akinchayatana, is that you lose the sight of I or the self with the objects because there is no object, only subjective reality, not objectification of the subject. Cite an example. Let's say I'm at your home, Chirag, and if I were to do it at your home, then what happens is there is Vrinda and Chirag and your mother, etc., being there at your house, but there is no practical experience of Chirag or Vrinda or your mother, house, etc., at your home. Do you understand? So that's the seventh one. The objects are not at all there. The subject is there. That means eyes are there, ear is there, nose is there, tongue is there, body is there, mind is there, but they're devoid of self. It's a strange experience to have. Now, on top of that, I remove the perception itself to such a degree that there's nothing to perceive. So, what happened to the feeling? There's nothing to feel. Right? So, you can't say you're not feeling. You can't say you're feeling. You can't say you're not perceiving. You can't say you're not at all perceiving. That means you perceive Chirag. If somebody were to ask me, faintly, very faintly, but not really. I'm not interested in knowing Chirag. But few, maybe days, hours, whatever it is, before, I was interested in knowing Chirag. Now I have no interest in Chirag. That's the crux of this, right? It's so faint. Now the ninth one is switching it off forever, meaning for time you want it. And that's different. That's a complete, I mean, it's an extension of this, but it's different.
If I make a quick clarification, so the only reason I asked this question about what happens if you die in let's say ninth and so on, I think in Tibetan Buddhism there's some way you can get into bardo and so on, and
No, even
I think
even otherwise, bardo is a intermediate state all the time.
Mhm.
You can create a bardo effect right here, right now. You understand? So you can do it. I mean, that bardo can be done even while without attempting the ninth jhana. Also, you can have a bardo. With ninth jhana, also you can have bardo. That is different because bardo is going to be there, and then it gets extinguished. So it comes out of the body and it dissipates. The energy gets dissipated. That means there is nothing going to get established. Let's say somebody dies in 9, as an example, is that his term ends in 9. And anyway, he can't come back. Now he dies in 9 means the energy or the life is ended. So if he attains parinibbana, basically, because there is no fuel left. That's right. But if he has missed it, it comes back to 8. Only that person knows whether it is Nirodha samapatti with parinibbana or not. The same question is there in that sutta, Chirag. Glad that you asked me, but the same one Ananda asked. But anyway, so that's the thing. Yes, Bobby, you raised your hand. Yep, go ahead.
Okay, Vilas, yeah, just clarifying this Nirodha Samapatti and this Nibbana, is it the same or different? Or one more question, like whenever you say Edam Sandam, Edam Panitam, this is ninth jhana or because
Good one.
I'm not sure.
Good one. See, Nirodha samapatti and Nibbana are not the same, not anything different. And you can look into the Visaka's question. Same question. Visaka asked the same question to Dhammadin after he attains Nirodha samapatti. He starts asking the counter sign. And what's the counter sign for Nibbana? I want to know how that works. And she says, you've gone beyond your question.
So I also asked a good question. Maybe the last question. This is the
That
last
is the
question.
answer to that question.
So is it that this Edam Sandam, Edam Panitam?
Now I come to this, the question. The etan santan etan panitan yadidam sabba sankhara samato sabbupadi patinisaggo tanhakhayo virago. That is the viraga sanya. Nirodho is Nirodha Sanya. And if you are in Viraga and Nirodha, continuously, it ends the journey. Call it by whatever name, Nibbana, because you can't enter into Nibbana, you will be pulled by Nibbana. If you have if you have understood the Girimananda Sutta, there he says two Sanya, Viraga Sanya, Nirodha Sanya. The same thing he says, Etan Santan, Etan Panitan, Yadidam Sabba Samkhara Samato, Sabbupadi Patinisaggo, Tanha Khayo Virago, he ends there. Then Nirodho, he ends there. But is there anything to explain on Nibbana? And the answer is no. And that's the reason in MN1, Mula Pariyaya Sutta, all the monks did not like what Buddha said, because he said, stupid guys, you want to define Nibbana. Okay, now what's the difference between Nirodha Samapatti and Nibbana? Nirodha Samapatti is devoid of feeling and perception. Simple. Then isn't it Nibbana? And the answer is silence. Now, then how would I know I'm in Nibbana? Answer is this way. You will be pulled by Nibbana, not that you will be in Nibbana. It's like you are not entering into Nibbana. It's not like you are getting into Nibbana to come out of Nibbana. You, not being there, will be pulled by Nibbana. Now what change does it bring in you? It's a psychic change. I mean, a mental change. At when it comes back, meaning when the Nirodha Samapatti happened and the mind is switched off, the switching off is Nibbana, then when it is rebooted back to existence, it knows that it was in a pause state, and it knows that it was in aware state, just the state of awareness, without condition. And hence it's unconditioned experience. Meaning you're aware. It's not that you're not being aware or aware. You've been aware, but no particular thing to be aware about. And that is called Kaivalya, Kevali. And even Buddha uses the word Kevali. That means you're extinguished. At that moment, if somebody dies, is Parinibbana. The difference between the Nirodha Samapatti and Nibbana is pretty less, but Nirodha Samapatti is not Nibbana. But it's not something other than Nibbana also. But good question. Appreciate it. Because you exactly asked what a person should ask, like Visakha, to Dhammadinna.
Thank you for that, Vidas.
Yeah, sure. The only difference between Anagami and Arhat is this point. Even I am not able to get that. I know how it is, but I am not able to go beyond it. Meaning, go beyond means always been in that. I can do till 8 without any issues. But what about the 9? And that's a one question mark. And what about beyond 9? The second question mark. So if you ask me what's your blocking, there are 3 steps which are blocking me. But if I can cover up that 3 steps, then done. Then the journey ended. No service. How do you know that this person is an arhat? Simple. Put him in a room for few days. Just put him in a room. Okay. And give him food or whatever you should give, but don't kill him by not giving food. Okay. Then keep him in the room. Don't go inside the room. Then you say that, sir, can you come out of the room? Let him come out of the room. Now you go and stay. You will get 1 and 8 jhanas like, gone crazy. Okay. And that means that guy has finished his journey because there's no asava. It's pure consciousness. There's nothing in there. That place is completely energized. Now you can just sit there and be in jhana forever. So for someone who have never done a jhana, can get into this place. Like when I went to this nest monastery in Bhutan, Paro, that was amazing experience. I have never had such an amazing experience except for Paro Taksang monastery and any other monastery in that region. It was amazing experience. I couldn't really make out what's happening. The time I entered was 7:30. The time I was looking at the watch, it's 12:45. I have no idea what stuck me. And the fun part is my wife and kid were in the hotel and I had a BlackBerry mobile which didn't work in Bhutan. So they don't know how to get me. And I'm gone, literally gone. I only know I went with the Bhutanese monks and I went to one cave and that's it. It's done. And only due to a cat which came and almost like sat next to me, and then I felt, oh, what is this? And then I saw the cat and it showed me the way down because it was the first time I ever gone to that place walking. And then it was very strange. And this driver who was there with me, the cab, he went and told my wife, we don't know, he might be dead because there are tigers and there are a lot of wild animals. I don't know. You have to go and inform the police. So my wife and kid have been crying continuously because they don't know how to contact me. So this driver came back again, waited. They thought that let me wait for some more hours. So then when I came down, he was saying that, sir, what a kind of a person are you? Your family is crying and where were you? I said, look, I was just there. And another strange thing happened in that generally walking down will take 1.5 hours. I have no idea how did I walk so fast. That's strange. And the second, this kind of experience happened in Ladakh. Between the hotel where I was staying to Shanti Stupa there in Leh, one monk I met him, one lama. So he told me there was ice there. So he said, let me help you with crossing the ice. So we crossed the ice and then he said, you go straight, you will go into the Shanti Stupa. I was walking. I don't know what hit me or whatever it is. From that point, by car, it is 7 minutes. And by walk, it not less than 25 to 30 minutes. It's a hilltop. From that river bed to there, I've just reached faster. I don't know how fast was fast. And my partner who had to pick me up, that was in the month of Jan. So it was full of ice and snow. So he was wondering where this idiot went. So then he gave a call to me. Then I told him I'm in Shanti Stupa. He said, come on, how can that be possible? It's closed. I said, it's open. And I'm sitting inside the monastery. I was saying that, how did you do it? How did you go there? I said, I don't know. I'm here for the last 1 hour. So then he came by car. He picked me up. So there's only 2 instances where I've seen this happening. Very strange thing happens. It works, but it's pretty strange, and you can't explain. I might be hallucinating or whatever. It can be true. So I don't know. It's not hallucination, but if I say to someone, it looks no less than a hallucination. But the good news is that I have the video of how I've climbed and all that. So still there as a thing. Meaning when I went to the Tiger Nest Monastery, they was explaining in the video what happened and all that. So at least some crazy thing is there. So it happens. So the when you come to the ninth, you would know you're in ninth. But beyond that, there's nothing to be said. But good question, Bobby. Excellent. So I do wish that you get into 8 jhanas to experience for yourself. Okay, so should we then end? I mean, I have no problem. I don't know about you, all of you. It's now already 4:39. Yes, sir. You have a question? Yes, go ahead.
A very quick one. Could it be a case where someone is in the eighth jhana and someone tried to shake him and make him come out? He doesn't feel disinterested in coming out, and
Yeah,
that's not.
it
it could-
is like yesterday he was almost touching the 8 jhana. Ravindra, we were talking, and I was looking at him, and then he was hearing everything, but he was not really interested in coming out of it. He was just sitting there, closed eyes. So I was telling him that he's gone, but he was hearing that also, that he's gone. So he was not really interested in. So it can be in 7 and 8, between 7 and 8, or it can be 8.
Even if the family does that, that person may decide not to react.
Yeah, there won't be any reaction. He was sitting there. We were doing all kind of fun things to make them others understand. He was literally disinterested in what we were doing yesterday. He was just sitting and sitting and sitting, and he was even changing the posture, but he was not interested in coming back. I saw him changing posture thrice, so he was not interested in coming back. And sometime after that, he forced himself to come back. Otherwise, he was. Maybe you should explain.
Really good experience. There are also today monastery had the same experience. Yep. For next 4 hours, I was in that. I was eating also, I was walking also, but not interesting in anything. Stood also, same thing. That stayed long time. Was hardly. I was hearing all the conversation, but if anything is laughing situation, but I didn't laugh or didn't express anything. But I am hearing all the things. I don't want to come out of that, and I'm enjoying and literally enjoying that situation. And after some time, I thought the session is ended, so I came back. Really, I have to pull myself, come out of that. This experience.
Yeah. Yesterday, seeing, and then I was telling them, look, he's gone. Nice. I mean, they're laughing. If any normal person would have been there, he would have just jumped into the laughter and all that, and then just enjoying, and then nothing could shake him off except for shaking himself out, which he shook himself out. So I'm not too sure whether he was in 7 or 8, but in between 7 or 8, or he was in 8 or 7, he can make it out, but nobody else can make it out for anyone. I don't know whether Arhat can, but if I were to reach Arhat, then I can say, yes, I can know this person is in 7 or 8. All 4 Arupa jhanas are very difficult to say from outside which jhana he is in, because shaking him up is not a right thing to do, because it might cause disturbance. So he has to come back on his own. But yeah, he is having real good experiences from the past. That means he was here in March before I came to Australia. But now this time around, I see he's literally, I can say, developed a lot. Very good. Excellent progress when compared to all the other people, all the ladies out here. I can't say out loud to them that you're not developed, but now that the door is closed, I can confidently say that he is far ahead than all those poor ladies who are sitting here and trying to do something. But yeah, they are not too behind, but they have plenty of catching to do. Yes, go ahead.
Hopefully another short one. So if someone's able to go into the ninth for some time, does that mean he's reached anagami?
Good question. It's not about whether you are in 9. If you get a glimpse of 9, you are not an anagami. But if you are in 9 all the time, you will come to know that you are in 9 and you can establish in 9. Like, Shaniel, if he says that he was in 9, get a glimpse of 9, that means he's pretty close to getting into anagami. So I doubt before I leave Bangalore and come to Australia, he might have turned himself anagami. That will be very good, quite possible. But at least from his face, his eyes, I can see that he can reach into 8 all the time. Yep, should be able to do that. I don't think so. It would take him, he had to wait for another 150 odd days and then do it. The only advantage would be that we can be doing it all the time, doing nothing but entering into the first to 8 and 8 to 1, 1 to 8, 8 to 1, like that. Keep on shuttling between our 30 days, what we have planned. But if it's already an anagami, and then there is nothing beyond it. Meaning he can just be in that whenever he wants. And he will get into 9 most of the times. Meaning he knows how to enter into the 9. Nirodha samapatti, but the nibbanic experience, okay, that you need to be an arhat. Meaning you would experience nibbana, but not the nibbana as what Buddha explains as an arhat. Jite jite mattam, sute sute mattam, mute mute mattam, vinyate vinyate mattam. That exact thing has to happen. That's one missing point in me. It's happening abruptly and not really happening. So that's one thing I need to know as a step, but I need to do it. So if it happens, then just like going from 1 to 8 and 9, he can have Nibbana. And you know how to come out of Nibbanic bliss. So you just create the sankharas, so they start appearing again, and then just talk for the sake of talking, you see for the sake of seeing, you hear for the sake of hearing, you taste for the sake of tasting, become just for the sake of it, just for the sake of it. No real interest. But question is good. Yep. So I do wish Shaniel can get till there before even I reach the show. Then it will be even more fun, and then we can work towards the next step, because I'm also learning. So it's a both 2L, learning licenses, right? So then we need to really see who is going to teach us to get into Arhat. So to be a good match, I could say, to work with him and then take the sutta and see how to be an Arhat and practice. If he becomes an Arhat fast, excellent, then I would ask him how to do it. It would be mutual. It would be a wonderful situation, I could say. I mean, a wonderful situation to be in, be honest. Pretty good. Let's see if it really works that way. Why not? But because his house energy is pretty good, I don't know. It might turn out that way as well. So let's hope. And by which time he would have done a lot of things. So his place would have got much more transformed than what I saw at his home on Saturday. And maybe good. So then Bobby can throw him out of that place and then sit there for some time and see whether he can get into all the jhanas. And then hey, he can say, Shane, you'll just go out and then do whatever you are doing, maybe mowing the lawn or whatever, while I sit here and see whether I can get that. It will. I'm not joking. It will. It will affect him. If it is affecting him, he's done it. At least
May he get there as soon as possible.
yeah, so that you can
so already he's benefiting all of us, by sharing his experience, and we sometimes have a chat and meditation and all. So it's really benefiting. But if we progress further, it will be a benefit for all of us here in this.
Not least for you, Bobby.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think I mean for me myself, but for others also.
No, that's fine. So you can drive past his home and then sit there. You can say, I need to be in that cave for some time. So can you rent out the cave for me?
I will. Yeah, I will definitely do that. I'm just waiting for.
Yeah, and then once Aryu lands, we can put him there and then say that, okay, Aryu, go and sit and then see what happens.
Are you stealing the Wi-Fi signal?
Yeah, that's what no, it's not a Wi-Fi signal. It is a full signal only.
Okay.
Good. Let it happen. Chirag, I think you need to book your flight ticket.
Definitely soon. Yeah, I don't want to miss on the Wi-Fi network.
Yes. Actually, it will be good, and that's a test. Actual test is like in that in the Tibetan also, that that cave where I went. It's real. Its experience is real. You lose the time and space completely. It cuts it off. So if Shaniel would do it, even at an anagami level, the person sitting next there will have his time and space cut. There's no experience at all, meaning the time just flies away and you don't know what hit you. You only know you went there, but you don't know what happened after that. It just makes you feel crazy. It's not that you have to sit in that room, Bobby. Anywhere and his house, if you sit, you'll have the same experience. Or you should get the same experience.